course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I don't even know what's going on today because I was doing so much work and so much phone calling and meetings and all sorts of things going on. And I thought, some of the things I was reading, I kind of, brushed over them. I sort of looked at them and went, eh. But then I went back and read a story on Black Enterprise and I thought, wait, huh? All right. So you might not believe me, but according to First Alert 4, well, let me just go back. 2 St. Louis men who were once police officers for the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department are no longer employed by the department after body camera footage revealed they refused to help a dying man because, well, we'll get to that. According to First Alert 4, the incident took place September 23rd, 2023 in Forest Park, when the 2 former police officers, Austin Fraser and Ty Warren, were summoned to a 911 call from a man. And I'm going to say the name wrong. Urian Rodriguez Rivera, my apologies, who stated he was going to harm himself. When arriving at the scene, the 2 former cops found Rodriguez Rivera in the park, but instead of assisting him or calling for help, they walked away from the man who had you ready? A gunshot wound and was still breathing. Their reason? Well, we'll get to that. Footage from Warren's body camera shows the men's lack of concern for the victim. Fraser stated that they were, anyway. After finding Rodriguez Rivera, Warren tells his partner they must take the call. But Fraser then made another remark. And then Warren says, we need to take this, SH blank blank. Fraser responds by saying whatever he said. We'll get to that. The officers leave the wounded victim, and as they walk away, they say they're going to find this SH blank, and we're going to be like, and we're going to be like, oh, blank, you found him. Then both officers laugh as they continue to walk away. The former police officers then return less than 10 minutes later, pretending to search for Rodriguez Rivera as another officer arrives. When seeing the two, the third officer contacts dispatch to have them call emergency personnel to come to the scene after finding the victim with the gunshot wound, still breathing, on the ground. When the other officers got to the scene, they roped off the area, checked the victim's pulse, said that it was super weak. Several minutes after, the two former cops are seen doing what? Leaving the scene. As the other cops search for a gun, try to render aid, try to do all that they need to do for Rodriguez Rivera. As that officer searches the area for a firearm, there's another officer there rendering first aid. What are these cops doing? They're leaving. The two cops that are doing the first aid and looking for the gun say, you know what's effed up? Warren and Frazier just left. One of the officers is overheard saying in the body cam audio. When asked why, he responded, I don't know. Another officer complains, saying, well, they can't just leave. But they did. As life would have it, Rodriguez Rivera later died at the hospital. The St. Louis Medical Examiner's Office determined the death a suicide by gunshot to the head. After administrators discovered footage during a routine review, the men were terminated. The two individuals are no longer employed by the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department. Spokesman Mitch McCoy said in a written statement, while we are unable to comment on specific personnel matters, St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department holds its officers to the highest of standards. Appropriate disciplinary action will be taken if an officer is found to have violated policies. Well, what did they do? Like, what could cause a person to leave a person who called 911 to say, I want to harm myself, and you get sent to the 911 call? And you show up and you find the person, but instead of assisting them, they walk away. Even though he called for help, even though after he shot himself, he calls for help. Now, I don't know if he called before he shot himself or after he shot himself, but when they got there, he had shot himself. What do you think their reason was for not helping Rodriguez Rivera? The two men's shift was about to end, and they didn't want to deal with the issue. That's it. Yo, player, I'll get off work in 30 minutes. Let's cruise around and come back. That's what Frazier says when Warren says, hey, we need to take this SH blank blank. Frazier responds by saying, we ain't taking this SH blank blank. I get off in 30 minutes. Let's cruise around and come back. And the officers leave the wounded victim as they walk away. And Frazier says, quote, they're going to find this Ish. And we're going to be like, oh, Ish, you found him. And that's when they laugh and walk away. Can you imagine a law enforcement officer? Now, before you get up all in your feelings, not all cops are like this, and the majority of them are not like this. But just like I told you, when I see the police do something wrong, I'm going to call them out. So what's the culture in the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department that causes people to say, hey, I'm at the end of my shift, and, yeah. Now, when we come back, I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you about that culture and how it's supposed to work, but how in St. Louis, it didn't work. But the only thought that came to my mind, really?
And that is Dr.
Hey, it's Sherwin Hughes, and I cannot wait for you all to join me at our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel starting at 5:30 p.m. Truth Nation will have food, drinks, prizes, and a night of celebrating the incredible people that are making a major impact in our great city. Get your tickets now by going to 1017thetruth.com. Tickets are only $25, and that's 1017thetruth.com to buy your tickets to the Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
What's poppin', Truth Nation? It's your girl Noni Juice from my friends at Steinhafels. Right now at Steinhafels, get a new Tempur-Pedic mattress and save up to $300. Discover the advanced pressure-relieving power of a Tempur-Pedic, making aches and pains a thing of the past. Upgrade your sleep with an adjustable base and save up to $500. Use Steinhafels 60-month financing and get a queen Tempur-Pedic mattress for just $48 per month. Don't overpay for a good night's sleep. Shop in-store or online at Steinhafels.com. Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance, and you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Products are not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating companies American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I should probably hop on the... actually, you can check us out and stream us live on YouTube and at 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a minute of the show. I'm also on Dr. Ken's Truth on Insta and YouTube and 1017 The Truth. So whatever you do, there's no reason why you are not checking out 1017thetruth.com. Don't make me have to come to your house now. Don't make me. Don't you make me have to do. 833-212-1017 is the number. Those cops, that's disgusting. And luckily they got fired because somebody did a routine check. Now here's what happened. There's no routine check of the video. Somebody complained about it. A supervisor went back and went through all of the video there and heard them say that. And they forgot, thought it was passive. But when they were on a call, boop, it flipped over to record. And now they got recorded and it got stored. And now they look doofus. They look really doofus because now they're fired and they should have been. Now, I still argue that same point. We hold officers to a higher standard. There's only one standard, life. If you don't meet it, jail. Like, what are we doing? There's only one standard. You can't make a standard higher. It's a higher standard. The highest standards. Well, what are those? The same standards we hold every other human being to, right? And when it's not met, they have repercussions. Now, cops should have greater repercussions for doing the same thing because they should do it less frequently than the general public. But when you don't care about somebody, that's what you get. Now, why did that happen? Well, there's a culture, and sometimes, and you have to understand what law enforcement goes through. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what anybody does. If you do not have the experience of a street officer, a patrol officer, taking calls for service, jacking people up, which we don't do anymore because, y'all messed that up with, anyway. Stopping people, right? Being proactive to stop people from hurting people and doing things before they did it. We don't have that anymore, right? I keep saying we, but I'm retired. But it is. It's in your blood rest of your life. So what happens is every now and then, right, we know the kind of calls that come over that you go, oh, dude, if I get a call like that, I'm out. Now, sometimes the dispatchers will be, a pain in the patootie, and they'll actually say, hey, here's a call. Let me give you a call. This is it. Take this, right? Sometimes you can send them a message because back in the day, we could just call the dispatcher and say, hey, dude, I got vacation tomorrow. So if you get something and you really want to, do something for something, can you give it to somebody else? Blah, blah, blah. I already let the officers know I'm working with. Hey, I'm on vacation tomorrow. So can y'all give me a break? And, just in case I get something, can somebody take it? And that's what we would do. Hey, take the sexual assault, take the DOE, somebody came home and found grandma passed away. They called the police. It's 6:45. You get off at 7:00. And you're going to be there 3-4 hours, right? Waiting for the coroner, making sure you take care of the family, fill out the necessary paperwork, do things decently and in order. Well, here now and then, hey, I got boot camp tomorrow. Not boot camp. I got weekend drill tomorrow. I got to roll. I got to roll out at 6:00. I'm taking a couple hours off, and I got to get home, dressed, right? So we cover for each other. That, I don't know what that was. And sometimes the dispatcher be like, hey, you know what? You need to take this. Man, I told you. Woman, I told you I didn't want to do it. They'll give it to you anyway, because sometimes dispatchers were. Anyway. So it is what it is. That's how life goes. Now, there are certain, trying to see the right word without, because I don't really believe in it. There are certain things that jinx your job in law enforcement. Now, people pretend like they don't believe about it, right? They pretend like they don't believe it, but there's certain things that will jinx your day. Like, hey, I hope I don't get a such and such call. You're destined to get one. Hey, I hope, and it's destined to happen. So those little idiosyncrasies, right? Those little things that can occur that don't make any sense at all. Boy, I tell you, it's a full moon. It's not going to be. There, studies have shown that emergency rooms and shootings and all that negative stuff that we talk about when there's a full moon is not any more or less than when there isn't a full moon. But people will tell you, that's what I believe, right? Well, we're talking about, oh my God, it's God. It's not. But they don't want to believe the actual data that shows them that actually that's not true. They just want it, and they go with it. And so there are a lot of little small things in law enforcement, driving the same car, wanting to, be the driver on certain days and be the passenger on certain days. Let me see what else. But if you were senior on the car, you decided what days you were going to drive. This ain't a trade-off. I'm senior on the car, so I get to decide on the days that I don't want to drive, you drive. And that's just how it was. Those little things that the public doesn't know about, but that it keeps the department moving forward, that you understand the culture, right? Every department has race issues. I've talked to cops. Oh, it's great. No, it's not. Stop it. You're a black man on a predominantly white department. It ain't been peaches and cream the whole time. Stop. Just like if you was a white officer on an all-black department, it ain't going to be. That's just life. That's just human nature. Stop it. But there's some little idiosyncrasies, right? So I think I told this before, but I don't know. So when I was on the Milwaukee Police Department, the rule was that you had to wear black socks with the uniform. You know, boots, black socks, this, that, whatever. Had to wear a blue T-shirt. You could wear a white T-shirt if you wanted. Most people wore blue or black because it blended in. Because anyway, for certain tactical reasons, and I'll leave it at that. I always wore white socks from the day I started to the day I retired. No, to the day I got promoted to lieutenant. I wore white socks in my boots. But then as a lieutenant, when I wore boots, I made sure I wore white socks. I never wore black socks. Why? I had to have something that was anti-rules, right? I got to have the one thing that, well, they say you got to do this. So I would pick the most menial, nonsensical thing that I could do to go against the grain, but still remain there. So that's what I did. Socks. So I always wore white sweat socks. Oh, you got to wear black socks. I ain't wearing black socks. I ain't wearing blue socks. I'm wearing white sweat socks. Now, if I had a dress uniform on, right, with my piping and my pants and my blouse, I would always wear black socks because I had to, because I had black socks, patent leather shoes. You know, you were command level, so you had to wear all this stuff. So I was cool. I was like, all right, I can do that. That was when, at a graduation I had to go to, a meeting I had to go to, or some memorial service. Other than that, white socks galore. Broke the rules every single time. So at that point, I probably broke the rules about, 3, 6. Of that, I don't know, I probably broke the rules about 2,000, 3,000 times. Oops. But it's the culture thing, right? How far do you go to say, all right, don't do that, right? All right, don't do that. I'm interested in knowing how much time did these cops have on the job. I'm interested in knowing how long they had been partners, right? Because one said, hey, we got to take this. And the other one said, nah, we got it, right? But I also recognize that the media pieced this together, and I'm sure there was significant conversation between him acquiescing to his partner. And that's the part that's missing. So if you're able to get a transcript, you could probably see how that conversation went and the pushback that officer may have gotten. And then finally, what's the culture of the department? If the culture of the department is the same way most departments are, the senior officer makes the final choice on the car. So if George Floyd, if the senior officer, the FTO, decides, I'm not getting off his neck, what is the new officer who's on for 3 months supposed to do? He's supposed to push him off. Then he will quit his job the next day, leave the department, and never go back into law enforcement because his reputation, by virtue of the person doing something wrong, his reputation, the fact that he interjected, which is now a part of most departments' rules and procedures to literally interject and override the officer. But at the time, it was not. And so you would have been going against significant cultural barriers, and you'd have found yourself out there calling for help and nobody showing up, or calling for help and nobody responding, right? And notice the two things that you might think are the same, showing up versus responding. Showing up is me going red lights and siren flying blank to the wind to get to you, right? Responding is calling for help and the radio's quiet. That lets you know anybody coming. Or they might be coming, but they're going to get you a little stressed. They're going to get you a little, hey, don't do that next time. So every occupation has ways of teaching people how to inculcate themselves into the culture, right? Now, some of that's good, some of that's bad, but not all of it is good. There are some negative cultural things that need to be in because some of the things you learn in the academy, when you get on the street, it doesn't work. Like you would end up getting your head handed to you because you have to adjust. Is the adjustment within rules and procedures and the law? Yes. But if you don't have experience, you don't know how to do that. If you don't know how to do that, you get yourself in trouble. But then there are just some departments like Minneapolis that were just bad. Just bad. 833-212-1017. What changes do you want to see in the Milwaukee Police Department this year? It's 2025. You got stuff like MPS. They're supposed to be at MPS. You got it's warm out. It's cold out now, but it's going to be warm pretty soon. Remember, we were talking, it's November. Now it's already January, second week of January. And in a couple weeks, it'll be February, and then spring will be here. What do you want this year to look like? What do you want to happen in the Milwaukee Police Department in 2025? Do you want more officers? Do you want less officers? Do you want more money? Do you want less money? 833-212-1017 is the number. Traffic, sports, and weather up next.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was the song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Eastbound 94 dealing with an accident. This is basically right at 175 or in the stadium interchange on the left shoulder. Tow truck's on the scene to take care of it, so hopefully it'll be out of there soon. But delays are stretching back towards 84th, so careful. On the westbound side, slowing from about 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 41's got some heavy traffic from south of Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. And then on southbound 43, we got a little bit of a backup right through the Marquette and onto the high-rise bridge. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, chance for light snow later on, mostly cloudy otherwise, a low of 23. Tomorrow, few morning snow showers, mostly cloudy otherwise with a high of 31. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Milwaukee Bucks got their second win in a row on Wednesday night. This one over the visiting Spurs by a final score of 121-105.
Three heat check from Green, and he drills it again. A.J. Green, automatic tonight. He's 5 of 6 from the field, 4 of 5 from distance, and that one from 30 feet out.
A.J. Green with 14 points off the bench for the Bucks, and with the win, they improved to 19 and 16.
You give A.J. Green, who absolutely, has the three-point competition been announced yet? If he's not in it, it would be criminal.
Next up for the Bucks, they'll be on the road in Orlando on Friday night. Over to the NFL, where the Green Bay Packers hit the practice field on Wednesday. Quarterback Jordan Love, who left the season finale after injuring his right elbow, was at practice on Wednesday in limited fashion.
Feeling back normal a little bit, less than anything.
Packers hit the practice field earlier this afternoon. Jordan Love was out on the field throwing the ball. He looks to be good to go for Philly on Sunday. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I'm sitting here laughing at the talking text line, so I may as well start, talking about it and going through. Do I even have my top 5 at 5? Nope, I don't have my top 5 at 5. I'm going to have to figure out my top 5 at 5 before 5 o'clock. Uh-oh, what's the world coming to? Good doc, this from the caller. Yes, I can imagine 2 stupid and evil humanoids leaving another humanoid to die of a bullet wound to the head. Having a badge doesn't make you not be stupid or evil. Don't you love all the ad hominem attacks people have when they talk about the police? But when you talk about them, you can't do it. Oh, Milwaukee had stupid, evil cops who thought it was a good idea to sodomize citizens on the street. So stupid, evil culture exists here as well. Not at all specific to St. Louis. Wow. I think we got educated on something we already knew. But we still have stupid, evil cops, but there are very few stupid, evil cops. And so I would caution the caller to remember, you don't have to remember, how would you feel if people talk about black people like that? How would you feel if you talked to a relative like that? Right? Is it true? Yeah. Stupid, evil cops. We also got stupid, evil people. And when I see, not necessarily you, but the ubiquitous you, call out people who kill other people regardless of race in the same stupid, evil way, then I'm going to dismiss the stupid, evil cop statement. Because that's all it always is. Your thoughts, 833-212-1017. What is the real, I don't know. Antonius Ross said, act like they care. But they don't care. those particular cops didn't care. The ones that were searching, the ones that were looking, the ones that showed up and tried to make sure they took care of the guy, gave him CPR. They cared. They did their job. So to lump them in with everybody else because, all cops are like that, that's fine. But then you can't complain when you don't get what you want because somebody found out that you was the one that said it. Because people are human. Wouldn't you bash the police if they did that? Yep, it was that cop. So if someone gets to bash you, they get to bash you too. It goes both ways. It's not just one way. It's not just one way. 833-212-1017 is the number. How's that go? How do you do that? I don't know. James, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Dr. Ken, I want to start the year off by saying Happy New Year first and foremost. And
Happy New Year.
Tell you that I love you this evening.
Same here.
You gonna say I love you back, not same here.
Okay, first of all, you don't get to tell me how I respond to somebody else. See what you starting this New Year?
I know. I knew I was gonna get there. I know I was gonna get there as soon as I said it.
Stop talking. Love you too, brother. Now, keep going. What you want?
Okay. Well, I guess the question I ask myself sometimes, will we ever really have true, good relationships with police officers when it comes to, like you said earlier, we got some stupid, dumb people, and we got some stupid, dumb cops. But it seems like the police really never, call out the stupid, dumb cops, which make a lot of them look bad sometimes. So will we ever really have, good relationships, or that maybe we should have with police officers?
So what you're saying is because you don't hear the police calling the police out when they do something wrong, then they should be looked upon as worse than other people. When you
No.
Let me go along with that's my understanding of what you said. So if your family members do something wrong and you don't call them out because you live with them and you work with them and they're in your family and in your words you love them, then we should call you out. Well, I don't think so. Number one. Number two, I have personal experience, and I've said it here a million times, as I've told people that I've seen where cops have been dimed out. Hey, they'll call internal affairs, they'll call the Fire Police Commission, they'll call the FBI and come get this cop, this bad cop. Now, you got to understand the culture. If you turned in a family member and a family member was a big-time gangbanger who didn't think twice about killing their family, would you do it anonymously? Or would you do it publicly, showing that you did the right thing? Well, cops don't do it like that many times. They drop a dime, they give information, they tell where evidence is, come lock this person up. And in some instances, as I've had to do, you got to go to court and testify and say, yep, that's the one. Not many people are willing to do that. And I'm not making myself to be some great person because at the time, it was probably foolish. Luckily, I had the wherewithal and the personality and the experience and age to basically tell people, go blank yourself because if you don't like it, too bad. And if you got a problem with it, come see me. I'm right here. You got a problem? And that made people back off.
That's unique. You don't find it that often.
I'm from the south side of Chicago. It is not unique.
That's right, brother.
It is not unique.
Okay.
The thing is, there are a boatload of people in Milwaukee just like that, who were born and raised here in Milwaukee, that will tell you, hey, you want to rock? Let's go. But at some point, you got to be able to stand up to it. Cops are the only ones that stand up to that, regardless of who it is. So when you get a few bad apples, you realize that same system that locks up bad people can turn on a cop that's trying to do good.
That's true. I can respect that.
So when your family starts getting jacked up by the police and when your daughter or son starts getting traffic tickets and parking tickets in excess every single day for every little thing, then you'll start to realize that, there's a culture here. And sometimes you got to work within the culture.
Unfortunately, sometimes. Yes, okay.
Well, it's not unfortunate because you got to get the work done, and so everybody has doctors kill people, literally. Medical doctors literally kill people, and then they go transfer to another place like 1,000 miles away and go get another job, and nobody says anything. What's that about? We're gonna have a review of a surgery you did, and you've killed six people have died. We've determined it's quote unquote not your fault, but we're gonna still look at it, and then you miraculously go find another job 1,000 miles away. Man, come on. Mm-hmm. Lawyers that take people's money and get charged, nurses that do drugs, all that stuff. I don't see them getting bounced around or getting put on TV and getting called out, but I don't know. I'll let James do that.
Yeah, right. Cause I'm gonna tell on my family members if they're not doing right, especially in my neighborhood. I'm snitching. No, I ain't snitching because I'm gonna tell you. I'm telling you, snitches try to hide it. I'm not hiding nothing. I'm telling on you.
Isn't that wild that we actually have a thing in a community that says if you tell the truth, you get in trouble. You just killed somebody else's family member, and we're supposed to not say anything because we should be more scared of telling the truth and getting justice than letting you get off? What? Makes no sense.
Exactly. Dr. Ken, love you again. Have a great day, bro.
Love you, man. Take care.
All right.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth Snony Juice, and the time is now, Milwaukee. For years, this city has been creating an undeniable buzz, and it's finally getting the national attention and recognition it truly deserves. Milwaukee is on the rise, and Jammin' with Juice is proud to be part of this historic run, showcasing the talent and energy driving this new era. This is Milwaukee's moment, and we're here to shine the spotlight on it. So lock in with Jammin' with Juice every day from noon to 1 on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because their home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote from an agent at amfam.com. Products are not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating companies American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I wonder if this is the MPS story I was talking about yesterday, but I don't think it's the MPS story I was talking about yesterday. MPS employee accused of sexually assaulting boy in Waukesha County. I think it was. Keelan Tyler, 38, is charged with third-degree sexual assault and child enticement. A Milwaukee public school employee is accused of sexually assaulting a child in 2023. Waukesha County prosecutors yesterday charged MPS employee Keelan Tyler with sexually assaulting a boy he mentored and tutored. According to Alexander Hamilton High School website, Tyler is an assistant coach for the boys basketball team there. According to a criminal complaint, in October 2023, Tyler picked the boy up from school, took him to a warehouse space he owned in New Berlin near Moreland Road and Cleveland Avenue, and the building appeared empty, of course, when WISN 12 News went to the location. But court documents said inside at the time of the incident, Tyler had 3 TVs, multiple video game consoles, and a workout room. When the boy was helping Tyler clean the space, he pulled the boy, and these are all allegations that he's been charged with, pulled the boy into the bathroom, locked the door, and then raped him, according to the complaint. The boy told detectives after the assault, Tyler said, "Do you think anyone would believe you?" The complaint said Tyler is a Milwaukee public school employee, a basketball coach, and that he tutors children. Hamilton High School's website said Tyler was also a coach for a nonprofit basketball organization running Rebels, who stated he has not been with the organization for 5 years. Tyler denied the sexual assault allegations to investigators. He's charged with third-degree sexual assault and child enticement. Court records show he's out of jail on bond, and no one came to the door when, of course, WISN came and knocked on his door. MPS spokesperson would not comment because they would not comment on Tyler's current or future employment status. I wonder why that is. Does he work for you or not? They said in accordance with district policy and federal and state law, which I'd like to know what those laws are, the district does not comment on circumstances of individual staff members. MPS will take all matters seriously that impact the well-being, learning, and advancement of our students. Hey, could y'all do that with some money so you could educate some kids and make them learn instead of doing the ridiculousness you're doing now? Oh, okay. All personal matters are addressed according to the district policy, the spokesperson said. If convicted, Tyler could face up to 35 years in prison. So here's my question. Are we doing background checks on people? Like every organization I work with, you got to get a background. Oh, what you doing? Oh, you got to get a background check. Oh, you want to join? Background check. You want to work with us? Background check. Want to be a member? Background check. Like everything. I think every single person that's in any kind of organization where there's more than 2 people in the organization, more than 1 person in the organization, you should get a background check. And you should get it every 3 years, not every 5 years, every 3 years. And if you want to be in the organization, you got to pay for it. Now, that means that somewhere you got to get a volume discount, right? It should be costing you $100 to get a background check every 3 years when you're a member of an organization. But at some point, if you want to work with kids, this is what you're going to do. Because if you got a case pending or if you got something going and it takes more than a year, year and a half, it'll end up on that background check. And that's some of the stuff we need to do because our children are more important than that. Every 5 years, a background check? Absolutely not. Every 3. Well, once they're in the organization, nope. Every single 3 years. That's just me. 833-212-1017 is the number. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hey, good evening. I know you were talking about, sometimes when people know family members to be doing things.
Right.
I think it's a very sad case when they want to keep things in-house because it really stops the growth of the community. And then when things get out of hand, everybody want to throw their hands up in the house when they knew this young child or this young teenager was causing all this chaos. but they feel because it's their blood, they want to keep it in-house, and then when the secret get out, everybody in the neighborhood knew who the person was, but then they want to sit there and try to hold a straight face. I think that has really, really tore down our inner communities, and I'm not trying to pick on black people or white people, but I wish they would get rid of that in-house stuff, because usually when they try to hold a secret, everybody usually in the neighborhood know who it is. It kind of reminds me back in the day when a girl get pregnant and they had sent her away, but everybody in the neighborhood was sleeping with the girl, and they found out it was really grandpa's baby, but they trying to keep it a secret. I think that has really done a disservice to some of our culture when they do that.
But that's also pretty rare. Al, you got to admit, that's pretty rare, too. So every time a girl got pregnant in the neighborhood didn't necessarily mean grandpa or auntie, uncle, or father did it.
Well, I'm just using that as an example, but usually.
Well, that's a pretty negative example to use on the radio. I mean, think about that. Other people that are listening from other cultures think that's what we do.
Well, on the other hand, you have a family up in Pembine, Wisconsin, and this was a mother and father who was raping their son, but they never put it on media. So I was just using it as an example. Or, we got the wife who watched her husband rape her 1-year-old.
So why didn't you use them as an example then?
Well, I'm just using it, but I always try to use them as an example. But when I use them as an example, don't nobody really never say anything, or they never comment on it. I always use that as an example. I always use them as an example where I talk about where some of these judges see that some of these people was raping children, and they didn't even make them register on the sex offender list, and none of them were black. But I always try to use things that's going on in the world, but usually when I use that, don't nobody comment. But I was just talking about us, because everybody because with us, they say it's in-house, it's in-house, it's in-house.
No,
but then
it's in-house, but we also want to keep it in-house, and I've never understood that. If you're a criminal, you're a criminal.
That's what I was trying to say. But we have this thing is in-house, and I'm like, well, how's it in-house and it's tearing down the neighborhood?
Yep.
That's all I was trying to say.
All right.
But that's all.
Thank you much.
All right,
appreciate you. Bye. 833-212-1017 is the number. Talking text line. My comment was for what I expect from cops in 2025. Act like they care. I get it. They should. Dr. Ken would put in your application for the office. So somebody said, would I put in my application for the Office of Crime Prevention? I don't know if that was the office per se that he had. I'm sure there's another office. I'm sure there's not a snowball's chance that I would get hired in that office with the current administration that's here. And I don't have time, so we're going to have Steve hang on, and we'll talk to him after the because we only got about another minute. Well, you know what? Let me see if you think I can get to him in about a minute? Steve, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I literally have a minute.
Oh, boy. Okay, I'll make it fast. Great topic. I tune you guys in all the time from the south side. Al is partly right and partly not. I don't know if it's
think you can say that you agree or don't agree with Al, but I don't know if you can say he's right or wrong. So that's his opinion.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. True. What all I'm saying is when you said, why didn't you use the white people that raped their son and all that? It is in the news. So regardless how bad it is in the news. But the quick comment I'm making is my dad used to be the doctor at the Green Bay Reformatory, and he came from Europe, from Spain. But when he got here, he said, gee, I just don't understand if it's a cultural thing or not. Then he marched for anti-apartheid South Africa demonstrations, all that. That being said, he said, well, I don't understand it with and we're from Spain, so we're Latin. He goes, I don't understand it, blacks, Latins, whatever, because when I look at their profile at the Green Bay Reformatory, because he was a physician there, he would say, I don't understand that. He gets Johnny and Ricky and Ricardo and all that, and he looks at their profile, and he says, and Al's example is a little bit true, or whatever, that he says, Ricky stole from grandma, armed robbery, and breaking and entering. He saw it over and over and over again.
Well, thank you much. I appreciate it. Got to roll. Thanks, Steve. He makes a good point. We'll talk about it after the top of the hour. 833-212-1017 is the number.
Milwaukee Black Talk.
The white friends that I have, especially the ones that I'm very, very close to, they all have something in common. They're all incredibly well-traveled. And when you are stuck in the United States, you are stuck in the institutions and the culture and the groupthink of the United States. And if you are white, a lot of that culture and a lot of that groupthink is don't hang out with black people. Don't be friends with black people. Judge black people. Be very stereotypical of black people.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Need a way to hype up your day?
Curly Q, you are a valued listener. You are on our YouTube message board every morning. You are constantly commenting.
What would you do with $5,000?
I have a daughter that is a senior. She voted for the first time yesterday, and so we're planning for college. So this money is going to go to her.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Calling all big thinkers. The world's climate is changing. These aren't new facts, but it means we must think in new ways about how we can live, prosper, and provide energy for our world while protecting our planet. Engineers are answering the call to create cleaner, safer, reliable energy. Solar power, harnessing the power of the sun to light all corners of the globe. Wind power, channeling a simple breeze to bring electricity to our homes. Hydropower, using the natural flow of water to generate electricity. Nuclear power, engineering advanced reactors that are safer, more reliable, and produce zero carbon emissions. Engineers are leading the way and empowering the next generation. Engineers answer the call. Brought to you by the National Academy of Engineering. Learn more at nae.edu.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. Health officials across Wisconsin are recommending that homeowners test their homes for radon. Radon is an odorless, colorless radioactive gas that is naturally present in the ground and can even enter buildings through their foundations. State data shows between 40 and 50% of homes tested in southeast Wisconsin have elevated airborne concentrations on the main living level where people spend the most time. Radon exposure is the second leading cause of lung cancer. January is an ideal time to test your home's radon levels when homes are closed up for the winter. Just one day after Milwaukee police announced a 12% reduction in crime since 2022, the director of the city's Office of Community Wellness and Safety, Ashanti Hamilton, has tendered his resignation. Hamilton is taking a position in the private sector. His departure means the department formerly known as the Office of Violence Prevention is now seeking its fourth director this decade. Hamilton previously served on the Common Council, first as the alderman and later as its president. Lack of communication between Milwaukee's Public Works Department and city leaders ultimately led to snowplows not reaching certain neighborhoods back in December. Multiple Common Council members grilled DPW over their poor handling and long response time to certain complaints. Alderman Lamont Westmoreland said this.
I've made phone calls. Phone calls have not been answered. Calls have not been returned. Emails have not been responded to. So back to my first question. So your answer to emails not being responded to is you just didn't want to respond or didn't have time to respond.
DPW Commissioner Gerald Kruschke says they will continue to work on improving communication with the public. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth. See, you wasn't watching. See? So I spent all my time trying to do stuff so that he misses so I can go, you wasn't watching, right? And that was like the one time in, I don't know what, 6 months? I caught him. I waited for him to go do something, then I turned the microphone on and he didn't turn the music down. I'm like, oh! I mean, that's what you got to do, right? Otherwise, he'll think he's perfect. Can't have that. I'm not perfect. He ain't perfect. He ain't perfect. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken. RC said, why cameras are not mandatory in schools is beyond me. Cameras are dirt cheap nowadays. Okay, let me help you with something. There are these things called minor children that are in schools. And when minor children are in schools, their rights for privacy supersede most adults. Therefore, you can't put cameras in schools unless you get permission from every single parent there. Now, if you're an employee of the school district, they'll tell you, I'm pretty sure, hey, by the way, we're going to be in your email. We're going to have pictures and cameras and all that stuff, so you're going to be watched. So just know that going in. If you want the job, that's what you got to do. If you don't want the job, don't do it. Don't take it. It's kind of simple and straightforward. So with children, you really can't do that. You have to sign that away. And most parents are like, hey, you out of your mind that you're going to take? I don't know what you're going to do with that camera. Now, when you're in public, it just is what it is. If you're in public, you're in public. It's like when you go to the baseball game or basketball game or something, they tell you, hey, just by the way, we got TV and you on video. So if you get seen with your boo thing and that ain't your boo thing, then that's on you. You can't sue us for putting you on TV because you with your boo thing, right? And when I say boo thing, I don't mean like boyfriend or girlfriend. I mean your boo thing is, and you're supposed to have your boo thing at work, and you got your boo thing in a seat watching a baseball game or a basketball game. That. So, you can say it, but you're going to get fired. And now you want to sue them for putting you on TV. So when you go to sporting events, They got all the disclaimers there. So when you go into school, they got you can't show kids. It's like you can't have a camera in the bathroom. You shouldn't even have a camera near a bathroom. That's just how it is. So, I mean, that's just me. Your thoughts. 833-212-1017 is the number.
Number 5.
So 2 rounds of snow. See, I got a problem reading that. 2 rounds of snow this weekend and single-digit temperatures. Gonna follow that. A dusting of up to a half inch of snow is possible on tomorrow with up to 3 inches. This from JS Online. Up to 3 inches is expected on Sunday. And wait a minute, I'm supposed to be watching a Packer game on Sunday. Oh, man. This is from the Milwaukee Sullivan National Weather Service meteorologist, Aiden Karowski. First round of snow is slated to begin overnight Thursday in Milwaukee with chances highest between midnight and 11 a.m. on Friday. For tonight into Friday, the expectation is roughly around a trace to a half an inch of snow, with the greatest amounts in the far southeastern parts of Wisconsin. Karowski said Kenosha, Racine, even into Milwaukee County will be the areas that will potentially see upwards of a half an inch. Friday precipitation chances around 30% in Milwaukee, 50% in Kenosha. More widespread snow is expected on Sunday. Between 1 and 3 inches is forecast around the region. Precipitation chances around 70% in Milwaukee, with snowfall mostly likely between 6 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Sunday, but possible all day long. Yeah. Which is okay. But then a cold front will follow Sunday's snowfall, bringing single-digit temperatures and negative wind chills to Milwaukee and surrounding region on Monday morning through Wednesday. Temperatures could be as low as 0. Listen to what they just said. The temperature could be as low as 0, not the wind chill. The temperature could be as low as 0 degrees in some areas. 0. So they're not talking 0 degrees Kelvin. They're talking 0 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 32 degrees colder than when it freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That means it's going to be, Are you going out Sunday to watch the Packer game? I'm going to try. But see, that's one of those problems, right? You might get out, but then you got to get back home. And that could be a problem.
Number 4.
All right. This from JS Online. For those of you that didn't know, Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors has tapped Warnemont Park to be the home of a memorial for 19-year-old college student Sade Carlina Robinson. This is something the community wanted, and this is something I wanted to make sure she got, said Supervisor Juan Miguel Martinez, who authored the resolution. Supervisor Steve Taylor, Felicia A. Martin, Ann O'Connor, Caroline Gomez, Tom, and Justin Belinsky have also sponsored the resolution, which will be taken up by the Parks and Culture Committee later this month. If approved, $7,000 will be used to construct and install the memorial. The Parks Department will work with the Milwaukee Parks Foundation, the park people of Milwaukee County, Robinson's family, as well as community leaders to design the memorial. Be careful, because when you get that many people in trying to design something and trying to get everybody in, that don't usually work well. Get with 1 or 2 groups or one group and let them put it together. People that knew her, people that loved her, work with the family and create it. Let's not get all these people. Thank you, Parks Foundation. Thank you for park people of Milwaukee County. Give the money. Don't let so many community leaders go in and try to design it that it turns into a monstrosity. We want to love and respect and honor Miss Robinson's legacy. So let's make sure we do that correctly. You know what I mean? Let's make sure, like the article says, the creation of a memorial that will serve as a lasting tribute to Miss Robinson's legacy and a call to action to address violence. They say gender-based violence, but I say all violence and support those impacted by it. That's just me. That's just me. I think that is a powerful, powerful thing that should be done.
Number 3.
News1.com says there's federal ruling to wipe medical debt from credit reports and that it'll disproportionately help black people. Now, it bothers me sometimes when I hear articles like this because it makes black people out to be so bad at so many things when, in fact, we aren't. This is written by Shannon Dawson and was published today on News1.com. On Tuesday, the Consumer Federal Protection Bureau, which is something that the Donald Trump administration, no, not the Donald Trump administration, DOJ is trying to get rid of, that I think you need to call your congressman, congresswoman, senators, and tell them if there's ever an agency that you want to keep, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is one you want to keep. They announced a new federal rule aimed at removing medical debt from credit reports of millions of Americans. According to ABC News, this rule could potentially erase $49 billion in unpaid medical bills from the credit reports of 15 million individuals struggling with overwhelming medical debt. The new ruling could help millions of black families who are often saddled with medical debt at a higher rate compared to other ethnicities. Now, is that a reason why? Or that it would help all people? I think all people would be helped by this. A credit score which ranges from 300 to 850 reflects a person's creditworthiness, essentially how likely they are to repay borrowed money. It is calculated based on information from your credit report. It includes details like credit history, payment behavior, outstanding debts, and other financial activities, and the score plays a role in determining one's ability to secure loans, credit cards, and mortgages, and they created it. So listen to how bizarre this is. Credit card companies, banks, financial institutions, mortgage companies, anybody that gives you a loan, created the credit score. And then they tell you, if you're not perfect or meet this criteria, we charge you more for your money. And somehow, and this is where I got a person to understand that the credit, the credit reporting agencies, I believe, are garbage. So at the time, me and my spouse had the same credit, right? So when you buy a house and you get this, you get that, you get this. So we had about 3 or 4 pieces of credit that were all together with both our names on it. But when you ran our credit report, her credit report was higher than mine by 20, 30, 40 points. And somebody said, oh, that's not true. I said, okay. So I went and talked to the person at the financial institution. I had them go in. I paid them at that point. Tell you what, you can do it or I can do it. Oh, no, I can access it. I said, no. Let me let you do it. I will pay you to do it, and then you can do it and run it. And they ran it, and they looked, and both of them were different. Well, I don't understand it. Oh, I understand it. See, when people tell you things and you don't believe it because you decide that there's no racism, well, yeah, there is. There's also sexism, classism. We talked about all that the other day. And so now you sit here and you try to tell people that we need something like this. Oh, no, you don't need that. Because publicly, it kind of makes black people look bad. But publicly, people need to know that, hey, we recognize that these are the things that you're doing and you're making us look bad. Because I've watched people move into the city of Milwaukee from having lived in another state just like me, who were younger than me, who had less work history than me, and they were able to roll in and buy a house when they were in the police academy, like in May or June, and we started in April. They literally, get this, a bank in Milwaukee made me wait until I got out of the police academy and off of probation before they would give me a home loan. That's the racism that occurred here and probably still does. So when you deal with stuff like that, when you deal with it firsthand, what do? That's why we need an organization like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So one thing we can't do is let Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk get rid of that particular thing. We have to make sure that they don't get rid of it.
Number 2.
You remember back in the day when I was complaining about when Mayor Cavalier Johnson vetoed the $4 million that they wanted to do 30 lane miles of road repair in Milwaukee? Remember that? Luckily, the city council said, boo on you. And when he vetoed it, they voted and brought it back. Well, what's the old saying? Your chickens have come home to roost. From WISN.com, City of Milwaukee crews worked through the night this morning to repair a sinkhole caused by a water main break in the River West neighborhood. The sinkhole opened up on Our Avenue near Pierce Street and forced Our to be shut down overnight. It was so deep. How deep was it? It was so deep that a city worker was seen standing knee deep in it. Photojournalists from Channel 12 who arrived at the scene around midnight saw crews pumping water out of the hole as part of an effort to actually fill it. City's Department of Public Works says the hole was created by a water main break, and DPW crews worked throughout the night and were seen finishing the repairs around 7 a.m. this morning. And so there's a street, it's on Locust. There's a street that has a little roundabout on it. I think it's 27, 26, somewhere. I don't remember exactly where it was. It has a little roundabout in the middle of the street. But the right side of the roundabout, the ground over the last year is starting to cave in. And eventually it's going to give, and somebody's car is going to be in it. And so as I transverse it, right, I try to make sure I drive close enough to the to the roundabout, and my wheels just touch the hole so that if it caves in, I'm not going to fall in. But it's kind of dumb. So now I have to change my route. And I think tomorrow I'm going to go and find where that street is and talk about it tomorrow evening. Because it disturbs me when we just let the street wear down until there's a hole and then somebody comes and tries to fix it. When will the streets be just literally redone? When we built these streets, we have a capital fund that fixes this stuff. Why don't we ever use it? Why don't we ever use it? I wonder. We seem to have this problem fixing the city. Who's responsible for that? We can't even pick up garbage. And I know it's cold and they've been trying to deal with snow, which means if it snows, garbage ain't getting picked up tomorrow morning. Hopefully it'll start after 6 o'clock so they can pick up garbage and then kind of move on. But I remember I went, 3 weeks without my garbage getting picked up. I'm like, it snowed like 2 weeks ago. Why didn't my garbage get picked up? So I don't know. They do the best they can. I got to hand it to DPW. They do a great job when it comes to handling things. And I think they're working sometimes with a group of city bosses that don't really get it.
Number 1.
This from CBS 58. I don't know if you've heard about it. The devastating wildfires that are going on, they're doing an update right now from Pasadena, California on CBS News that continue to ravage celebrity-filled enclave of Pacific Palisades and other areas have forced the production to shut down across Los Angeles, as well as the cancellation of a number of key award season events that were supposed to take place this week. The Critics' Choice Awards was supposed to be in Santa Monica. I've got friends in Santa Monica, so I need to make some phone calls. This unfolding tragedy has already been a profound effect on our community. Our thoughts and prayers are with those battling the devastating fires. That came from Critics' Choice Awards CEO Joy Berlin. There are so many things that are going on. The AFI Awards luncheon is not going to be held. The BAFTA Tea Party is not going to be held. Production has just stopped. Grey's Anatomy, Suits, LA, Hacks, NCIS, The Price is Right, late night shows, Jimmy Kimmel, CBS After Midnight, all those have stopped because the fire is there. And that the president has just sent FEMA money there, but you have to see these pictures of what's exactly happening right now. You have to see the pictures of what can only be called a historic fire. And I've got family out there in California, and I made a couple phone calls, and they said they're doing okay because they're about 40, 50 miles away. But if the Santa Ana winds change direction, you're talking winds that are going at 100 miles an hour. You ready for this? It can cover 5 football fields in 5 minutes. So how do you run from that? How do you run when entire cities have been completely and totally burned down? Well, we got the opposite coming. We got snow and 0-degree temperatures. So you're going to have to make sure that you watch out after your family members. And believe it or not, yep, got to do the Christian thing. Check on your neighbors too. I know it's tough. It's rough, but something has to be done, right? You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, it's Dr. Ken Harris, and I want to invite you to join us for our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at the Potawatomi Casino and Hotel starting at 5:30 p.m. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate individuals making a difference in our community. Get your tickets now by going to 1017thetruth.com. Tickets are only $25 and include free food, drinks, and a night to remember. Visit 1017thetruth.com to buy your tickets to our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Your family history of prostate cancer increases the risk for all the men in your family. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life. And it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. It's 1017 The Truth. Who? It's me. on the new 101.7 The Truth. For Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, Happy New Year. What does that mean? That means lots of rough days are coming. We got snow coming tomorrow. We might start out with a half inch. We might get, 3, 4, 5 inches by Sunday. It's going to get cold. We also got people that, suffer from seasonal affect disorder. Gray skies, cold days on the horizon. Tomorrow, where we all just want to, be snuggly and warm at home. And that's where Pella Windows and Doors comes into play. Well, they're inviting doors, welcome friends and family into a cozy home. You might want to do that for some of your friends and neighbors who might get cold or lose their heat, so make sure you stay in touch with them. Pella can also make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. You can celebrate the new year with 0% interest up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. But you need to hurry. You only have until January 31st. Today is January 9th, and I'm not doing any math on the radio, but you only have till the 31st, so make sure you check it out. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. How do you do all that? You just visit PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com. 833-212-1017 is the number. Oh, by the way, what's that from? Y'all wasn't even born. Y'all know what that show that was from? 833-212-1017. What TV show was that from? Hit me on the talking text line. Truth Nation, we got a special announcement that's coming. That's Monday, January 13th, so you need to be tuned in to Truth Be Told at 8:30 a.m. So we will have a huge special announcement. We welcome the next year just last week, but it's a lot of exciting and new things that are going to be happening in the new year, in 2025. We're going to kick it off the right way. You will not want to miss. We got another one, a huge announcement, and we know you're going to love it. Mark your calendar, Monday, January 13th, 8:30 a.m., because the home of Milwaukee Black Talk has a special surprise for you. All right? You've been told, you've been warned. Now, don't be calling us up at like 8:35. Hey, what was the idea? No, we're not telling you. You better go online somewhere and play back Spotify, TuneIn, or Apple Store, Google Play, something. Play it back, because it'll be live on YouTube. All you got to do is turn it on. You know, while you're sitting at work, you can put your little earbud in, like I do, and just play. Sit there and be like, 833-212-1017 is the number. Again, I told you about RC. Said, cameras are dirt cheap, but every child has a cell phone. Right, but children with cell phones don't go in bathrooms and videotape each other, and they don't videotape each other like doing dumb stuff, right? They watch videos, but come on. Somebody got it right. Welcome back, Cotter. The character was Epstein. I know you don't know about it because it was in the 1970s.
I was not about to say, I had no clue.
Dude, can't take y'all nowhere. Can't take y'all nowhere.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Check out Jammin' with Juice, where it's amazingly juicy.
No, that's beautiful, Jesse. If you ever need any host for any of these events that you have coming up, you should contact Jammin' with Juice. We'll be more than happy to host these events for you.
Listen, Jammin' with Juice, you are like top of my list. Now I know we're going to do a lot of fun stuff in a lot of years to come, because I love you guys. I love your listeners. I love Milwaukee, and I can't wait to have an amazing night next week with Cast Off, T Grizzly, and Lakia.
Yes, I love that you picked those artists as well, because they're really powerful artists, especially for the youth.
And you know you always got a friend in band.
You know what? Shout out to Not Really a City Girl, man. Shout out to Not Really a City Girl. That is a really great item.
For my birthday?
Oh yeah.
A sweatshirt with your picture and an autographed copy of your non-existent CD?
Yup.
No stone left unturned.
Okay, I just wanted to say, when we were talking about picking races, I am biracial, so I always had to pick one. If everybody remembers, you used to have to pick one, and I was always black. Now, when called over the phone for a loan, I used my white voice, and I got a really great rate.
Come get your drop of juice.
Hey, I want to say congratulations to both of y'all from where y'all started at the station to where y'all at now.
Thank you.
I remember Juicy Juice used to be upstairs. Nobody never seen her. And Jammin', you started over there, I think, with Tori, and now where y'all at now, I'm proud of y'all. And you know we sipping on that apple. And don't forget the crown. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all have a blessed day. I love both of y'all and keep continue the good energy for us young people.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
From the 414 to everyone across the globe, Jammin' with Juice is here for you. Check out Jammin' with Juice daily on YouTube.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer. Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
We've got an accident now on 894 southbound, right about at Beloit Road, off on the right shoulder. So watch out for delays there and beyond. We've got delays all the way down through the Hale onto 894 eastbound. Eastbound 94, heavy from 76th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Westbound is backed up from 20th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And then on southbound 41, very heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Chance for light snow later on, mostly cloudy skies, a low of 23. Tomorrow, a few morning snow showers, then mostly cloudy skies, a high of 31. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Milwaukee Bucks got their second win in a row on Wednesday night. This one over the visiting Spurs by a final score of 121-105.
Heat check from Green, and he drills it again. A.J. Green, automatic tonight. He's 5 of 6 from the field, 4 of 5 from distance, and that one from 30 feet out.
A.J. Green with 14 points off the bench for the Bucks, and with the win, they improved to 19 and 16.
You give A.J. Green, who absolutely, has the three-point competition been announced yet? If he's not in it, it would be criminal.
Next up for the Bucks, they'll be on the road in Orlando on Friday night. Over to the NFL, where the Green Bay Packers hit the practice field on Wednesday. Quarterback Jordan Love, who left the season finale after injuring his right elbow, was at practice on Wednesday in limited fashion.
Feeling back normal a little bit, less nummy.
Packers hit the practice field earlier this afternoon. Jordan Love was out on the field throwing the ball. He looks to be good to go for Philly on Sunday. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, and let me show you what I was talking about.
Welcome back.
That was a TV show, Welcome Back, Kotter. They were not very, what's the word I'm looking for? Innovative and creative when it came to music back in the day. You realize back in the 70s, we didn't see no black people in nothing. Like nothing. I mean, we wasn't in nothing. Nothing. Anyway, 833-212-1017 is the number. That was me. I was too busy talking, and I didn't press the button to play the music. And then he said, hey, you gonna play the music? I'm like, what music? That's how you do on the inside, but on the outside, you go, oh, I got this. We good. Dr. Ken, welcome back, Kotter. Yes, it was. And it's not Carter. It's Cotter. Cotter. It is not Carter. You know what it was, right? Somebody typed Cotter, and their phone auto-corrected to Carter. I'm just saying. So I feel you, Felina. I feel you. Couple things. Milwaukee School Board is going to look different. They had until 5 o'clock Tuesday to file paperwork to be on the April ballot. And Jilly, I don't know her last name, Gokul Gandhi, who holds the 5th district seat, Marcela Garcia, District 6, and Henry Lloyd, District 7, they're leaving their jobs in April. And I guess we're going to have some new people running. So I guess we'll see what the school board going to do. Will it work? I don't know. I have no idea. I know I'm not going to be one of the 180,000 people in Southern California that got to go somewhere. Like, where are you going? The state's on fire. Literally, the state is on fire, and they want you to go somewhere. Where are you going? Excuse me. Where are you going? Where are you going? California is literally burning. When they talk about catastrophic, I can't say the word, catastrophic impact of the blaze, you're going to lose everything. It's going to they are literally living through scorched earth, and they're going to lose everything. And it's going to take a decade to build all that back. Very interesting. Let me check my talk and text line. Welcome back, Cotter. Let me see what YouTube is talking about today. That's interesting. Okay. All right. On YouTube? Okay. All right. There we go. All right. Epstein. Yeah. Whatever happened to him? Oh, by the way, from WISN News, the judge granted supervised release for Wisconsin Slenderman stabber Morgan Geiser. Y'all remember Morgan? Stabbed her classmate 19 times in Davids Park in Waukesha, May 2014. 19 times. Well, a Waukesha judge granted early release today to Morgan Geiser, one of 2 participants in the Waukesha Slenderman stabbing. Y'all remember that? Geiser was 12. Along with Anissa Weir, who's already out, I believe, stabbed their friend Peyton Lautner 19 times, nearly killing her. Geiser, now 22, was found not guilty by reason of mental disease. But we're not going to find this kid who shot his mother? Okay, all right. Was originally committed to Winnebago Mental Health Institute to a maximum of 40 years of state mental health supervision. 3 doctors have examined her the last few months to determine if she's made enough progress to transition back into society. And this marked Geiser's second attempt within a year to be released. Her previous request was denied by a judge who cited her as a significant threat. During the break, Judge Michael Boren said he went back and read his April 2024 ruling when he denied the release, and Ware was granted conditional release September 2021 to live with her father, but still remains under state supervision. The court hearing involved testimony from 3 doctors who have examined Geiser. This time, one of the examining doctors has changed their stance and now supports her release. Of course, state has 60 days to develop a release plan. She'll remain in Winnebago until then. I guess it's kind of good for her. I mean, she's going home and normalizing her life. At some point, there needs to be forgiveness, right? She was paranoid schizophrenic and had certain issues and didn't really grasp what was going on. Children's minds are not anywhere near. I mean, she's 22 years old. Her mind still isn't fully developed. Like at age, 25, where your mind is fully developed. So I think it's important that just like in the case of the 10-year-old who's now 12, who's about to be charged. And then, of course, they found out that I think he needs to be re-examined by doctors. and re-examined to a point where they understand that it is not normal behavior for a 10-year-old to shoot and kill his mother and do the things that he did. There were some mental health issues going on, just like there were with these two Slender Man girls. But of course, we always look at black youth as being smarter and more conniving and more adept mentally and physically than whites. And when are we going to change that? When do we correct that misnomer? When do we change that issue? Because we keep seeing it over and over and over and over and over when it's not true. And I hope a 12-year-old boy doesn't live the rest of his life in jail because of a mental health issue.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/the reason to get started.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Hey, Truth Nation, get your tickets now for the first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th, celebrating Individuals making a real difference in our community. Visit 1017thetruth.com. Purchase your ticket today, only $25, which includes heavy appetizers, a drink, and a good time hanging out with our Truth family. But don't wait. You don't want to miss the best community awards event of the year. Visit 1017thetruth.com to buy your tickets to our first annual Truth Community Awards at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel, Friday, February 28th, starting at 5 o'clock p.m. 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me check my... I got too many places to look. Shaking my head, mental disease. Okay, that's just how the statute says it, right? Mental disease or defect. When in fact, she's been diagnosed, and as a child, she got it from her dad, paranoid schizophrenia. So someone can talk you into, now here's the kicker, right? She got held long, but the other girl is the one that talked her into stabbing the girl 19 times, right? How'd she get out sooner? How? Probably should have been tried as an adult, which I think they were. I don't remember. Either way, you're talking about people who believed that Slender Man was real. Now, let me be honest with you. Whoever created Slender Man, that was a wicked person. I don't care what nobody say. Something wrong with that person. Something is definitely wrong. That person, it scared me. And growing up, I was a scaredy cat. We still call people that, scaredy cat. I was pretty scared, but now, some of the things I had to do as a cop got me over a lot of stuff. Like, for instance, were you ever scared of the dark?
I was a little kid.
Right. As I grew up, I was afraid of the dark. Like, I used to sleep with a light on, a low light, maybe one of them little wall lights. I was scared of the dark. When watch this. When I had to become a cop, you work at night in a squad car by yourself in the dark. I got over there real quick. Because you tell yourself, dude, you have a gun. What could possibly happen? That does not take away your fear, though. I'm terrified, right? Completely illogical. Completely, utterly, and totally illogical. So I understand the whole mental disease and defect. I get it. Some things can cripple you emotionally to the point where you just don't know what to do. Or you just shut down. Or you panic. And it's important to remember that because not everything in your life has to be so messy, Sometimes you just got to step up and get things done. Sometimes you have to just step up and say, you know what? This is what I'm doing, and this is how I'm doing it. You heard about the triple homicide suspect up in Juneau County, Virgil Few, 47, charged with 3 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and domestic abuse. He is in custody, according to the Juneau County Sheriff's Office. Virgil Few, 47, was found today, taken into custody in the city of Elroy. The New Lisbon Police Department said the Juneau County Communications Center received a call about a suspicious person in Elroy just before noon. Deputy was dispatched to the area, made contact, where he was later arrested. The Juneau County Communications Center received a call just before 4:30 p.m. for 3 people. That was on December 30th last year. For 3 people who were found dead, 1 woman, 2 girls inside a home in the city of New Lisbon, near Bridge and Jefferson Streets. So he is finally in custody and charged with 3 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. New Lisbon Police Department and Juneau County Sheriff's Office would like to extend their deepest sympathies to the families affected by this tragic incident. It is our sincere hope that this marks the beginning of the healing process as they navigate through their grief. So, daughter, stepdaughter, and daughter's friend, mom, stepdaughter, and stepdaughter's friend were killed. And that is very unfortunate. And but one of the things I'm going to be doing is if something like this happens in other communities, I'm going to be comparing these stories. I want to see the coverage and all that. I'm taking a keen interest in journalism this year. I want to see how it impacts the way stories are presented to the community. And I mean the Milwaukee community. I want to see that. I want to see how we unravel and unpack these stories that impact everybody, but that the actors are different. And when the actors are different, will it call to question the way these stories are presented in our community? What words are used? What information is used? I want to see if we can take that young man who was 10 years old, who's now 12. Well, no, not young man, young boy, and put it in another county and see what the outcome would be. I want to see if I can get some information, maybe do some type of mock trial and see what happens. Interesting. I think that'd be something important that the black community could see, how the criminal justice system works, how the criminal justice system, well, it's supposed to work, and have somebody play a judge and a jury and a prosecutor and a defense attorney and the defendant and all that, and see what we can do about presenting something like that. And maybe do a preliminary presentation of all the facts that they're going to present and see based on what we have. Would you find them guilty or not guilty or by reason of insanity or anything like that? You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. What's today, Wednesday? Thursday. All right, it's Thursday. Because I was about to say Thanalysis was coming up, but I'm a day late. I'm telling you, leaving town do that to you. Tori Lowe Show's coming up next, and then, of course, I'll be back tomorrow. It might snow tonight. Make sure you check on your family. Make sure you check on your loved ones. Check on your neighbors. Make sure everybody's okay. And then the temperature's going to be dropping down to 0. So make sure you take care of yourself as well. Hey, thank you, Jason. Appreciate you, brother. God bless. Take care. I will see you in 22 hours in about 6 minutes. I'm out.